This is Dhaval Sahija, Business Development Manager from Signet Infotech. Thanks all for your participation and registration in Concern webinar. Since we have been receiving many inquiries from our existing clients and prospects regarding XRM and CRM, so we have decided to go ahead with the webinar XRM, the future of CRM. I would like to pass on the line to my colleague Mr. Varun Sukhija, who is Microsoft Dynamics CRM consultant, and he would be showcasing you the webinar XRM, the future of CRM.
Hello. Very good afternoon to all the staff, and I welcome you to the webinar series of Signet Infotech. Here I would like to showcase one of the nice and recent seminars and webinars which will take you to a new relationship management, the XRM management. I say it's a future of CRM. It has been involved since since 2010. People have been discussing about XRM. People have been discussing how CRM needs to have an extension. What are the components available? How can I manage an X relationship management with an X? Not your ex-wife or ex-girlfriends, but your relationships does include your suppliers, vendors, employees, all this information that you need to track under one roof, that is the CRM. So let's start the CRM. Basic CRM. What does C stands in CRM? So when I say C, before that we'll go with the webinar agenda on discussing on what are the topics that we'll be covering today. Topic that are listed as on your screen are leveraging XRM as a platform, understanding what the XRM delivers, when to consider custom development, and when to leverage the XRM component development. A brief overview of the XRM components. I'll be showcasing your case study where one of my clients is a large distributor who has used the XRM framework to manage his operational cost. In fact, we have helped him down to cut the operational cost by around 50 to 60%. That's a good achievement. We'll see what is the benefits of XRM in terms of my case study as well. The vertical solutions available from Microsoft Labs and UQ. I would like to have you involved in the QA round after we finish up with the agenda. And again, I'll welcome you all to the series, and let's start with the webinar now. Now, before going to the XRM platform, I would like to understand what is C in terms of the CRM. What it allows you to do. Yes, it allows you to manage customer. It allows you to manage contact. It allows you to manage some clients. So any kind of relationship which may involve your sales process, service process, marketing process allows through the CRM functionality. Plus, what the other point that you can manage through this particular XRM, which is the layer of the CRM, is, oh wow, here we have the cow management, employee relationship management, patient relationship management, partner relationship management. I want to manage relationships with X. How does it give me? So that's an XRM platform that we use to manage the relationship between all the X's plus more. So yes, this is my favorite line. Life is all about relationships. So XRM rocks. Yeah, the XRM definitely rules in the terms of relationships. So coming to the point in the business application development on how do I focus an XRM when I am as a business unit representing my company. First of all, I would like to say that if you have done an investment in Microsoft Dynamics CRM, a very good product, definitely you can leverage its existing investment in the terms of extending the solution that has been a core functionality of sales, service, and marketing. That is a one department, as I say, in my office, and I want to extend the objectives well throughout the departments of my office. So I can use the XRM platform to consolidate or to extend a management of my departments, my employees, my distributors, suppliers, channel partners, healthcare specialists, doctors, patients in any regions, in any locality. It allows you to manage or extend beyond the customer management. You can also define your custom business processes to use or to streamline all the manual processes that are getting followed in day-to-day life in the organizations. Then extend it to your automated processes using the XRM as a platform. So, in the same lines, I would like to talk, I'd just like to present a small video which is quite popular in terms of XRM. It gives you an overview of how the XRM has an infinite possibilities to manage the change. So here I go with the video. A nice little tweaky video which gives you an overview of what XRM as a platform has a capability. I say it's an infinite possibilities when you want to think. Just think on any relationship. Just think on how we prepare an ER diagram. Go with the ER diagram. Start preparing your work objectives. Start defining a business objective and start with the XRM platform. So I would like to represent the video in terms of a plain presentation. Organization needs to manage some business processes which may include some tasks, maintenance process, and process automation, where departments and groups would like to have some interaction and activities through the relations that they maintain, maybe in the terms of grants, maybe in terms of patient, student, employee. So XRM again is a platform to use to manage this kind of relationships and manage your business process to a success. Okay, now the point comes in the picture where we say that how a transition has occurred in terms of a customer to an relationship management. Let's say the customer relationship management is one of the most and one of the important thing in any business today we need to have a marketing, sales, and customer service team which can use a system or software which is quite easily understandable, quite easily acceptable to make their life easy in the terms of selling. They need to concentrate on sales, doing marketing activities, and service people need to have some service areas that they need to serve through the customers. In XRM, the same information is used by any team member, any role, any user that you define can use the extended system to achieve their own objectives. Yeah, it allows you to manage the customer relationship in XRM framework. It allows you to manage any relationships, automates the marketing, sales, and service business process. Yep, automates the relevant business process related to your business associations, tracks the activities, tasks, and gives you a 360-degree customer overview of the information of how your customer is behaving in a sales life cycle. Similarly, you may have a patient life cycle, you may have a grants life cycle, you have a financial life cycle, you have a health life cycle. You just need to want to track activities, tasks, workflows, processes, interactions that are happening in this processes or business objectives. The XRM helps you to identify and track them. A good software, a good platform must have an analytics. As a customer, I get customer-centric analytics, the sales, the order closing, my opportunities. As an extended relationship management, I need to have X-centric analysis. So this is the capability to expand your customer relationship management, which is provided by Microsoft Dynamics CRM system, to your users, allow them to manage, allow your business automation, track the information, track the data, provide some basic analytics. All are the infinite possibilities in the XRM as well. Now, coming to the point again, the XRM versus the custom development. Why I'll choose XRM over the custom development process. It's quite simple. XRM helps you to integrate many of the line of business application and custom application development lifecycle. Gets quite reduced in terms of time and cost to achieve your business objective. Again, XRM is a framework which helps organization have a quick insight on how the processes are moving ahead. We need to prioritize some business process. We need to have some high priority tasks to be completed in a rapid development environment. That's the model that the XRM provides you. So just a basic graph, a small information which gives you the development time which a custom application development may take you. You concentrate in the custom application development and you concentrate on base functionality, developing it from scratch, using the core features is not achievable through some base functionality which are in a custom application. Same as when we go for an XRM development. The base functionality is quite well proposed, quite well developed. It allows you to extend the base functionality. It allows you to create objects and custom business logic along the base functionality. And you see there's a reduction in the time to achieve live. That is the point I would like to say again. It gives you time to reach live to the market or live to your customers or live to your data as soon as possible rather than going with the custom application development. So as I say, you have to develop if you want to develop a custom web page, Office integrated, a multi-tenanted application, a business app in less time, prefer an XRM development rather than going for a custom development environment. I'm going to my next point, which is my components of XRM. I have tried to differentiate the components in role-based structure, in terms of system admins, in terms of developers, in terms of business analysts, what are the existing components that they can use to achieve the business objectives. So my first objectives for system administrator is to define users, organizations, multi-branching, multi-territory, using business units to club data into one, representing your whole company as one business unit to represent data, defining security roles, defining who has an access to what functionality, what are the functions that what are the functions that and operations that a user can perform using, so that can be defined using security roles, some common business settings that can be defined by the system administrator using the components, some templates, articles to manage your day-to-day email campaigns, or you say the knowledge base for your your services area. In terms of development, it gives you it gives you a platform for integration with log applications, a platform to integrate with custom applications, have a custom UI, custom business logic. Business logic can be done in the term of plugins, workflow, processes, dialogues. These are all the components that allows you to be extended based on the business requirements, and definitely well backed by business intelligence development using a SQL Server, reporting services, few of the reports that you can also leverage using the Fetch XML, which is the new query language of the Dynamics CRM application to define custom reports, or you say the custom dashboards, or the business object, or the business intelligence data. In terms of system and business analyst, allows you to do a data model in quick format. Yeah, we understand that business analysts do face issues in the terms of defining relationships of one object with the other object. How do form look? How do I represent my data? How do I represent a view to a customer? How a workflow will be designed? How do I manage some mail merging templates for documents and emails, email management? So all processes are easily definable, can be easily be definable by business analysts if this is being used using the XRM framework. Now, in overall, this becomes my toolbox through which I'll be discussing my case study, where what areas I have gone through the system admin, the development, and the business analyst. I'll use all the areas to define my customer's objective, that was minimize the operational cost. Let's move on to the case study. The case study describes about an automated order management system using the CRM and XRM platform solutions. Some brief about my client. The client is one of the largest distributors of windows and doors. They are the largest suppliers and manufacturers of these products. The products includes the exterior doors, interior doors, garage doors, building products, knobs, hinges. So they have their area spread across multiple distribution channels. They are spread across 40 regions, and they have some retail home centers. The retail home centers, when I talk about, they are the US-based retail home centers. They are Home Depot and Lowe's. So the client gets the information from this large retailers, and then they distribute the orders to the various regions according to the order that they receive in a specific state or a district. So we chose the Dynamics CRM for managing both of their operations, managing the sales operation and defining certain manually and semi-manual processes, semi-automated processes, to fully automation using the XRM as a platform inside the CRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM. and that all came into an existence of a single instance. We call it as an organization. So the solution again was envisaged to bring effective communication, help them to have a collaboration with the customers. So this is the relationship that they were looking for, relationship with the customers, proper relationship in the service department, proper relationship with the suppliers, proper relationship with their manufacturers, proper relationship with the customer service department, which are majorly spread across a job in various 40 regions, as I said earlier. I'll be representing you why pictorial data, where I say that how the information we collected, what are the process that we went with the client for collecting the information, what were the issues. So just a pictorial view. Sorry, I cannot tell you the name of the exact customer. So I'll be using a dummy name here, the Perfect Do Consultants. So this is my client. Oh, the office looks quite good. But here we see there are many issues that are associated in the office staff. Oh, Sarah. Sarah says that she manages her customer appointments in her Outlook. She is an in-home consultant. She wants to know how she wants an effective way to manage appointments against an order. So that's one process that we are looking forward to, and that was the one major drawback that Outlook. I cannot say Outlook was the issue, but Outlook has been limited to her client software, so you cannot manage the data on the fly. It required her to manage some of the information on the fly, on the go, because she is involved in major of managing appointments, scheduling measurement appointments with the customers, and feedbacking the details back to the order system, so that the order states go to a flow where I can say the measurement has been achieved, go to a flow where I can say the manufacturers and installer needs to be notified on different status. James Fiddle. Just before that, if you see anybody's name, I do not mean to intend or harm anybody's name here. So James Fiddle is a customer service representative. His job is to manage the customer information. He uses a 9-year-old application to manage customer service. Due to limitation of database, due to limitation of size, due to limitation of application, due to limitation in extension, he was getting quite frustrated on managing all the data in one application, which could not be migrated or could not be used in a proper fashion to achieve his objective. Okay, Amy is a sales manager. She gets an updates from installer and manufacturers. So her job is to maintain a synchronization between installers, manufacturers, and her own department and her home organization. That's a Perfect Do Consultants. Quite a tough area where you have 40 regions, and the sales manager needs, though the Perfect Do Consultants have various district sales manager, but to consolidate the information in one area become a quite headache. That's the job of Katie Stevens, I say. Quite a good job. Report developer consolidates data from various departments, generates reports in Excel, gives the management the information and view of how the data looks, how the orders are flowing, how the order cost are getting maintained, how the customer voice is getting tracked, all information, how the district sales manager is getting upgraded in the terms, I may say that in the sales, in the orders. Patrick Holmes in the area of finance or an account software uses QuickBooks to manage invoice and order cost. So again, he has to wait for some inputs. So Katie generates some reports, Katie gives some data, Patrick, he verifies it against his invoice, he tallies it against invoice, an order's cost generated in QuickBooks, and if it is true and if it's correct, then he says, okay, go ahead, Kerry, you can submit the reports back to the management. But as I said again, the distribution of regions was quite large. The information flowing from various regions came in. It became difficult to make reports, to tally reports. The actual job of the Perfect Door consultants was fitting the doors, having an installation of doors. Instead of them, they started a chaos, started a fight on how the information is improper, which department has not responded back, which department is lacking the information. So that internal chaos costed them their sleepless nights. So we need to manage something. So we discussed with the client on how this area can be addressed. So we identified that there are certain islands that don't talk to each other. My next slide talks about the same. So these are few islands that we identified that, okay, home consultant and door installers do not have an exact information on how the order flow is, when I need to schedule an appointment with the customer for an installation activity, for a measurement activity, when do I go to a consultant, how do my emails reach to a client. So they were looking in form of stability with the customers. The customer service representative wanted to track again. So the CSR island gives you the information and data collected in an island of CSR. The financial department had its own data. The customer data was maintained in some Excels or in some old applications. Manufacturer data, yes, the manufacturer updated data in their own system. Then they consolidate the information, send back to the sales manager. At any point of time, there needs to be a process for the retailer to get some updates regarding the order flow. That was a major challenge. So we discussed the operations and we discussed the point of interactions of one order with various departments, with home consultant, the CSR department, financial, customer, manufacturers, and retailers. And we identified that some of the areas needs to have an automation, some needs a manual input, needs to have an integration with 4 or 5 systems, legacy systems. So let's come to a transformation of CRM, in which I'll show you a picture on what are the functions that are managed in CRM, what a role, what a flow of an order that goes, how does it behave, and what is the final process that we achieve through the XRM. So some of the common points, again, let's go back to the Perfect Door consultants. Let's say we have identified the islands. Now we want to track what are the issues that a common user or a role may face. So as I said, for the IS users, the main issue was measuring appointments, measuring the retail updates. In the terms of retailer updates, I want to say that the retail needs to know if the appointment has been scheduled or not by the appropriate consultant, so that they have the customer. So so the retailer didn't want to lose his own customer. So definitely he would like to have some updates from the organization itself. Sales manager wanted a simple process of order tracking, customer retention, central repository of orders was the requirements. The finance department had some lot of points other than the employee salary, that the function is the basic function of the finance and accounts department. They also need to have a trip cost, like how well an order has been executed in a single trip, multiple trips. So that are the trip cost associated with one order. How a DSM, a district state manager, is performing in terms of order cost. What are the order cost? So again, as I said, one of the main things that I have removed, or you can see one cloud has been missing from here, is the KT cloud. Definitely she is abusing me in the terms, because I have removed her role in this area because I have automated all the reports for this client. So she is using the system, but in the terms of developing a CRM or SSRS report development system. Any extensions, any solutions, any reports, but definitely her task is reduced a lot, and she's abusing me. I hope I don't get caught with her. And okay, jokes apart, coming back to the CSR department, the customer service representative needs to manage customer surveys, issues. Based on that, they need to generate a voice of customer report. So we have developed a voice of customer dashboard, which gives them an information through which they can say, hey installer, hey you installer, you're not scoring a 10 out of 10. You have failed in your exam. So how do I track it? Through the VOC dashboard, it's my solution. Other common requirements that came in the picture was portals for manufacturing, portals for the installer. They were given an individual login, and so it's not a part of CRM, but it's an external portal developed in .NET for this manufacturer and installer, where they have their individual login to the system. They can see the orders, they can see the order flow, they can see purchase order items, notes, information on the customer, how like giving back the data or submitting the status back to the organization through the external portals. Simplified the process. Yes, migration from legacy systems. It uses 3 or 4 different systems to manage all the activities. So a huge amount of data was required to migrate. And in terms of migration, what I say is data is one part, but when I say migration, user acceptance does play a major role in terms of UI, in terms of user experience. Yes, the platform is quite good. It gives you an Office effluent UI. You can leverage that to use your existing functions, and any user do not have to like start from scratch if they are using a Microsoft Office product. Okay, activity tracking required for in-home consultants and installers. The consultant says, oh, I took around 5 hours to reach the customer. It took me 3 hours to do a measurement. We understand the measurement can take time, but 5 hours to travel to customer? Is he fooling me around? The installer says, I went to the customer on time, and I did my activity in a proper fashion. But do the organization have a track of it? No. We need a tracking system that can help them to define the process and appointments, scheduling, emails flowing out. All activity needs to be tracked for this consultants and installers. So cycle times, one of the major features that they were looking forward to. Cycle times is how a new order has been executed to and production, how much days it took to go to production, how much time it took to go to export, like the exported order, how much time it took installation activity to complete from a new order getting received, how much time it took for a in-home consultant to schedule an appointment as the order was received. So cycle times played an important role again in tracking the information of how the order. So they need to track that starting from a new order date that I received till the final PO received, or I say customer verification status received. We need to have each and every track of the times that it took, how many days, hours, minutes, or you can say months. So that's the cycle times. Non-one trip report needs to track how many trips were there to one customer, what was the issue, why the reorder came into picture. So that's all has been taken by non-one trip report. Okay, and automate order updates to retail giant. As I said earlier, again coming to the point, the retailer needs to have the information that the order is being executed. The customer knows that his order is getting executed. He knows that it's in a production environment. And again, there are no gaps between the organization and the retailers or the shop owners. That is why we use the automation updates to the retail giant. A very reverse process in terms of sales that they would like to, they were looking forward is converting an order to a lead. Yeah, as a salesperson, many of you, if we have gone through a sales cycle, may know that that is quite a complicated, not a complicated, but a reverse engineering process where an order is getting converted to a lead. But yes, it was required to manage an order to a lead process to track that how many orders got failed or how many orders were not converted to an actual purchase. And the requirements went on and went on. So these are just a few of the requirements that I have tried to accommodate in my screen space. Now, what are the functions in the CRM? What are the external applications that came into picture to accommodate these changes? So the Dynamics CRM system out of the box, plus some additional functions that we have implemented and that communicated back to the CRM, and background service process to, so we discussed with the retail client to provide us the information in some format, in a proper format, either in terms of Excel, either in terms of flat files, either in terms of data. So they provided us the web service to download the XML orders. So we started with the development of a background process where you can get the information of automated orders with the new orders, the schedule orders. So there are different orders which have a status at the retailer level as well. So they wanted to get this information back into the system. So we use the XML parsing, developer parser with knocks at the web service provider, collects the information, pushes the data back into the CRM system. So that's the first process, fetching orders. Now, after you fetch an order, you have to assign it appropriate to IHC, the in-home consultants, so that they can start scheduling their activities, start creating appointments, start doing their work. You don't want them to sit idle. So start assigning orders to IHC. When they go and do a measurement, they take the measurement device, come back and input some data into a system. So which we have not indicated the part of the system, the machine that they have been using for a measurement device. But whenever they uploaded the measurement and information into the device through the device, we use an EDI connector. So all the information the client was sending us in the form of EDI files, and we use some AS2 connectors to get the measurement figures into the CRM, read the data, read the order, and it had multiple stages as well. It may come as an so EDI file, not only the measurements, it had other order processes as well. We got EDI files for production, we got EDI files for exported, we got EDI files for incoming orders, we can EDI files for the files for the orders which have received a confirmation of payment, purchase order released by EDI. So all this information the client is to send us in the form of an AS2 software. At our end, we had an AS2 software where we collected information, stored that information in some files, and then pass the data, EDI files, back into the CRM. At some stage, the orders needs to go to the portals. This stage was when we said the order is ready for a production, push it to the portal. So as soon as we receive a confirmation from the EDI that okay, there's an order available for the production, we send an activity. We used to schedule an activity in the terms of email where we shoot an email to the concerned manufacturing department saying, hey, you got an order, you have to work on it, you need to provide a status update so that an installer can come and pick it up from the store and schedule his appointment and finish up his job so that I can receive my payments and I can pay you as well. So they used to update the information back to the CRM. So that's again a cost effective in the terms, as I say. We have not included the manufacturers and installers. There are around 30 manufacturing units that this client is managing with different regions and around 15-20 installers. So we don't want them to have their own user license management. So that definitely would cost the client to invest more in terms of licenses and reduce the functionality and business process. So we use the, sorry for that. So we use the external portal development in .NET. We integrated that portal using CRM web service calls and push the data back into the CRM, retrieving and pushing. Okay, so now the order has been marked by the installer as my job has been completed. Go for the payment. So there came a need of managing the order cost which were in the CRM system with the QuickBooks. So again, a sync was developed where all the customer, all the order items and all the purchase order items which were residing in the CRM system were pushed to the accounting software, that is the QuickBooks. So using the QuickBook Pro edition, so invoicing again needs to map. So like it generated a QuickBook ID, QuickBook invoice ID, and that needs to go back to the CRM system. So that tracking needs to be there just to have an overview that, okay, this invoice in our CRM and this invoice in QuickBooks are same, they do not differentiate. So a mapping and syncing was required. Yep. Voice of customers. So after we raise the purchase orders to the clients, we receive the payments, we receive the order cost. We need to also track whether the customer was satisfied with the service or not. So we integrated a voice of customer dashboard and voice of customer area where we developed a voice of customer form, send it across a mass email campaigns to the customers that have a job status of completed, push them to give inputs and store back data into the CRM. Based on that, we can generate the reports on the scoring of an installer, of the measurement, how do they behave, any additional comments that they have. So we'll be seeing a few of the reports. Yes, at every point of time, you need to say to the provider or the retailer that yes, you can close the order. We have achieved the success in this. So that's a closing for you as well. It's a closing for us as well. So trying to create a win-win situation between the retailer and the distributor. So using the XRM components, we were able to achieve all of these functionalities, incorporate various flows, business processes with the Dynamics CRM application, leverage the inbuilt sales activity lifecycle as well, leads, email campaigns, activities, mass campaigning. So all the process are there as an inbuilt capability plus some additional business processes for the client. Few of the screens that I would like to share within application. Few of the order forms where you can see the customer information. So again, I said it's in consolidate one-page information where do not have to go to 5 pages or 5 areas differently. There's a customer lookup or a customer information in the customer area. I don't have to click on the customer and open up a record. I see the customer information, its address detail, its phone number. So when a install or the IHC comes into a picture, you do not have to open a customer record. So just to reduce the amount of clicks, we manage the information right on the header section of the CRM. Then we need to track what is the who is the DSM who will be working on this particular information. The order financial cost, all the order financial used to manage in the order financial sections, uh, which needs to have a process that it needs to match to the purchase order items that were associated with this order. So that's again a calculations that has been done to achieve the objective of the cost, the cost into quantity should match to the order retail amount. The cost into quantity, the cost into retail amount, the quantity into retail amount should match the order retail amount. Yes, we need to even track any retail amount, installation amount that we need to pay to the installer. So there you can see the installation cost amount. I need to pay $178 for this installer to do an activity. I need to have some trip cost. So this gives you an overview that there are multiple trip costs or a single trip cost. How much a refund there may be an issue where you say that the job has not been executed in proper fashion. I need to refund some amount to the customer. So yes, again a process to map the current purchase order items. Client does change his requirements. So again, if there is a change in the requirement, the web service pushes back the data. So again, we knock at the door of web service. Is there any change in the purchase order by the client? We get some new POs associated with the order. We replace the old POs and put the current state of newly downloaded POs to current state. Based on that, again, an updation in the order cost and financial. Few of the reports using the SSRS report development, where I can track per month what are the issues that came in the picture. Were there the issues of manufacturer? Were there the issues of an installer? Were there any issues in the measurement done by the IHC? So this gives me a track of a totaling of per month the issues that were raised by the clients for an order. I need to track one trip by month. So month by month I need to track whether out of 6 orders, 2 orders were a rework order. So it may or may not impact them, but yes, if 6 and 6 are rework order, that's definitely going to impact them. The sales comparison on month by month basis, so that they can check how are they progressing, what are the lean areas, so that they can start the promotional campaigns on items and products. So they need to identify that areas. So there was a sales comparison chart. A simple flow were new orders versus the final PO, how new orders were generated and how many of them have converted into a final POs or has been an exported order state. Booking information of current month, how many jobs have been installed, what is the average retail sale, what are the issues, are there any issues. Let's say I map it to December 2012 and I see here one trip is 1 and a rework is 1. So definitely gives me an impact of 50% is in one trip and 50% it's in rework. And then again we need to identify whether it was an IHC issue. If yes, update the information into that information. Yes, this is a lead time, how much time it took to convert the order from and new order to an exported order state. That's a lead time that needs to be calculated. And that gives you an overview of year-to-date information of all the areas of all the orders. A segregated view or consolidated view of territory-wise, the orders getting processes, how POs, how many installs are there, which areas, which regions they are working, how the regions has behaved, how the regions have performed, what was the voice of customer, calculate an average. So these are all the information that we're getting tracked in that particular reports. These are some simple dashboards that the customer can directly use the CRM to generate by themselves and track the information. Quarter by quarter VOC scores, updates, A big map integration was done. It was done before the 12 release, Polaris release of the Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So we had to do a custom integration of Bing Maps with CRM. So we use the CRM Bing SDK to integrate the information, which allows you to map the distance, the shortest route to travel to a particular customer. So just you can have a quick overview on how much. So just to optimize the time of my travel and my activities, I use this Bing Mac as a solution for them. Some portals screens where the manufacturers installers can see the information. Some notes, the notes in CRM needs to have to the customer information, the manufacturers or the installer. I need to add a new note and send it back to the order screen. So all the functionalities for clubbed scheduling an activity and installation activity. So all this information push the data back into the CRM and they travel back from CRM to the order. Yes, so how XRM as a framework helped me to consolidate or use the existing behavior to minimize my development and achieve the target or go live within my speculated date. The core functionalities of XRM includes reusable components. So one thing you have developed, one workflow, one process that you have developed for one object that can be reused into other sections. One dialogues, one process, or one a list that you say, a pick list becomes a reusable resource for me because I can reuse the pick list data in one form, I can reuse the pick list data in another form. It's a pre-built, as I said, it has a core functionality, allows you to define certain fields, certain processes, certain operations like new, create, update, retrieve, all the operations. Accelerated development of log applications, point and click customizations, some process automation, and scalable, reliable. It's a global product. Yes, Microsoft is just investing in this product, so it's a good product. So to use your existing, if you have purchased the product, you can definitely scale it. Reliable in the terms it has a stamp of Microsoft as a support. So few vertical solutions from Microsoft Labs which are available readily in market. You can plug and play with a Dynamics CRM and check their behavior. Call center solution, grants management, a partner relationship management, wealth management, health plan sales, and pledge. There are a few more, but I just try to include few of them on the screen. So you can talk to me on any of the solutions that are vertical solution of Microsoft. I can definitely answer you on what is the best fit according to your needs. And so we would like to end this session with some question and answers. I would like to have most involved